The new generation, they don't want to use the minivan. Looks like their grandma, grandpa type of car. So we had joined forces with a company in Michigan to build a PT Cruiser or a Honda Element to just give a new look. Just because you are in a chair, that doesn't mean you don't have a taste. End of the day, you see a young kid in a chair can roll into one of these cars and not being like a big full-size van like their grandpa's car. This makes at least for me, end of the day, I feel good.
My minivan isn't boring. That's why they call them ghost flames. See the dark shadow under the flame? That's actually, it gives the effect of the flame sticking out, being three-dimensional. The idea came to me that it would really be neat if you had a scooter that matched the van. This is kind of subdued. It's got the gold, so it's not really obtrusive like you see some flames. They just really stand out. And we did that on purpose, just to look more conservative, if you call flames conservative. I'm in the automotive paint business. Been in automotive paint since 1956. Love cars, love paint. Love custom cars. I love sitting behind the wheel. I love to drive it. It drives great. It's a pretty fast car. It's got a J4 Chevy engine. That's a crate engine from General Motors. That's like a hot rod engine. It's got a big sound blaster. It's got. It used to be stick. We made it automatic because I couldn't drive a stick. We're talking about redoing the interior because right now it's got the stock '57 Chevy interior. I think we're going to put a high-tech interior. When we do that, we'll probably put the seats that come out to the side. Just do a custom paint job, or just do something. Just make it. Just individualize it. You don't have to paint it, but you can make it fit your personality.
Be sure that you've maximized your potential physically, as far as the ability to gain strength and be able to transfer or not, or to whatever ability you can move around, and then go with something that's going to be easy to use every day, so that it's convenient. I have had 3 vans and 3 different cars, 2 Chevy muscle cars and the Ferrari. I have a 1968 SS396 Chevelle convertible, and that's got hand controls, and that's basically the only modification that was needed for that car. I have a 1967 RS SS350 Camaro that has hand controls, and that's about all I had to do with that car. I put power driver seats in them also, but really very little else was needed. They're a lot of fun to drive. I raced them out. They're fast and fun to drive. I've always appreciated Ferraris, even ever since I was old enough to drive and appreciate cars. I've always thought that the Ferrari was a moving piece of art. Just always enjoyed those cars, and once I was able to afford one, I looked into it, and there was one that had an automatic transmission at the time, and that was the one I got. It was a little challenging, especially the Ferrari, because the amount of room to work is pretty limited in there. They had to do some customizing of the seat rails and the steering column to make the hand controls fit. When it was new and I was single, I would drive it once or twice a week.
I went to Shepherd Rehabilitation Center, which is in Atlanta, Georgia, and that's part of the program. Is they have a car or cars with hand controls, and they take you out driving. Driving will give you your independence. If you're a low para, you can get into minivans and mini SUVs fine. When I first got this car, the tires were large truck tires, so that made it a little higher. It's a little more difficult. But in general, it's just an up transfer. And again, that should be something a low-level para knows how to do. I make sure my seat is slid back all the way so I have as much room for my legs. I have long legs. People who have shorter legs wouldn't be as much of a problem. I keep the seat tilted back as far as possible. The reason for that is that once I'm in, and after I've taken the wheels off and loaded those, what I'm doing is I'm loading the body of my chair, which is a rigid frame, so that's different from a collapsible, over my lap, so it needs to be able to pass between me and the steering wheel. I think the disabled drivers are as varied as non-disabled drivers.
When I got hurt, I thought, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what I was going to do. Just where there's a will, there's a way. And no matter what your injury is, there's always something that can help you out. It's a Lehman trike kit. They took my bike and they converted the Road King into the trike. So, I don't have to worry about falling over or anything. This is my personality. The way it is, it's clean cut, nice looking, I think. I don't know.
I'm 6'8", and most vehicles are not big enough, so this was the biggest sedan going. I'm kind of glad the car can't tell stories. It's been an adventure, you can imagine, through college. It's taken me everywhere, from Chicago to New York to New Orleans to LA, mountains, desert, you name it. I could throw my chair over the back seat. I used to get 3 or 4 people and their chairs in there when I played basketball. Well, man and his machine. This has become somewhat my alter ego. Well, I found a worthy successor to the Checker. This is a 2004 Dodge Sprinter. Well, it's very liberating to be able to come and go as I'm able, as I wish, not depending on the fixed route or even the paratransit.
It's a 97 Silverado. It's got 18-inch IROC wheels on it, and it's got my hand control in there so that I can drive it normally, and it's got a killer stereo in it, and it takes me from here to there and gives me no problems, and that's a good thing. Oh, this is my 70 Vega. It's kind of a rare car. You don't ever see a Vega around anymore. Me and my friend Carl built about a 500 horsepower small block Chevy. It's got a Steve Sharp racing tranny in it and a Hemi Cuda, 1970 Hemi Cuda rear end in it. And it's pretty fast. It's just something fun. Sounds pretty good, huh? I pull up next to people in the new vets, they go, they don't want to race. It's fun, because it takes you away from the wheelchair stuff, That's why I like it. I used to race starting at about 12 years old. I was an 80 expert racer, and I got hurt when I was 17 and a half, so I didn't really get a chance to go to too many bigger bikes. See, I've made this bar here. It's kind of like training wheels, like on a kid's bike. It's got rollerblade type wheels on the bottom on each side. An electric motor right here. And it's got an electric shifter for shifting up and down like you would on a normal motorcycle. And buttons up here. And it's your legs now. You got to think ahead of time. But this is your legs now, that you can't move your legs. Goes up and down in about 2 seconds. Oh, this is a back brake I made for, people in wheelchairs, so you can have a back brake with your thumb instead of your right foot now. That's the clutch, back brake, downshift, upshift. I keep my legs on with Velcro straps around my knees and around my ankles right here, because when you pull a wheelie and you're already going 80, there's G-force that wants to yank your legs off. If I don't, my knees kind of want to go, leave me. I'd look like Superman going down the street. I've had it to 185 miles an hour, and it still had more to go. It kind of feels good to just leave your wheelchair behind now and then, There we go. Now I'm on. Once that's over there, then I'm cool. And I put my chest usually right there. And then my legs try to fight me usually like they're doing right now. Put my left leg up first. Adjust yourself. Get rid of your wheelchair like that. See, I have no balance, so I get that helmet on as quick as possible. Put my strap on. Okay. See, now I start feeling normal right now. No wheelchairness. And then when I first started driving, it just made being paralyzed or being in a wheelchair that much easier, because now you don't got to rely on nobody, and it feels good to go get away by yourself. And it's a good thing to be able to drive and take yourself somewhere.